The first 5 minutes is about to close. So what I'm doing right now is to mark the Asian range. So this was the start of the Asian range, and here it ended, right? We already have taken the high and the low of the Asian range. Now we are trending up high. Yesterday, for the context, we were in the inside day. We made an inside day. Now we are gapping up above the moving average, and the first two bars are strong enough. So it's good for the bulls. On the 15 minutes, the 9:30 candle is uh, imbalanced because it never went even a tick below the opening. So there's basically a 95% chance that we are going to take out the low of the first 5 minutes. So that makes the bulls not a very good probability. So it's not very good for the bulls. Let's see how the this bar and the next bar will close. This is the 5 minutes chart on a 15 minutes chart on the Globex time frame, and this is 5 minutes on the QQQs. We are currently gapping up with the context of an overall trading range. We are closing this gap from Thursday, last week's Thursday. We're gapping up on the daily time frame above the yesterday's bar high. We are above the yesterday's high and Monday's high. Just keep that in mind. I'm waiting for the next 7 minutes to close, for the first 15 minutes to close. Then I'll take the same trade with the same narrative. Basically, the criteria for the trade would be, once this 15 minutes is closed, I'll be looking to go long or short. As of now, I'm generally more bullish than bearish, but in general, uh, depend on where it will close, I will take the trade from where it breaks out, aiming for half of this candle's range. Second bar is good enough for a good follow through. We might take the previous week's high, but I want the price to stay within this range and close within this range so that I can take a long. targeting the previous week's high. So that would be a good valid trade, decent trade. Because if we go above the previous week's high before the close, then that would basically the objective would be complete on a smaller time frame. Yes, it can trend upwards toward like way more up. 23,000 is generally the target which I have in mind, but on a hourly time frame, I'm just taking this trade on a 5 minutes, take a scalp. The second 15 minutes, the second 5 minutes is close. Of course. 4 minutes left till the first 5 minutes will close. That's a very, very strong bar. This is a very strong bar. Big bar with big risk. We have closed the gap, Thursday's gap. We already have closed this gap. Let's see how this 3 minutes will close. Just for reference, this is weekly open. This price is weekly open 553.51, 553 and 51, 553.51. Okay, this bar is also strong, so 42 points would good enough, be good enough for a scalp. 2 minutes to go. It's still moving higher. Price is still moving high. If you look at it on a 1 minute time frame, not a single bar went below the previous bar's low, except this bar, except 940, giving strong closes. First 15 minutes is about to close in 1 minute. 24 seconds. Fifteen minutes are close. The first 15 minutes, we had a very strong close. Uh, this is not ideal. Okay, it is what it is. 43. Okay, yeah. I am not entered in this position. If we retest from this point, because this is imbalanced, we're going above the previous week's high. So strong enough for a single standard deviation. Even on a 1 minute, the polls do not have a reason to get out. Yes, they may have doubts, but they do not have a reason to get out. If you look at it from this 1 minute time frame, this is a 1 minute time frame. This was 15 minutes, but I'm using 1 minute now. So none of the bar went below the previous bar's low or even close below. So we never got a single closing below the previous bar's low. So bulls do not have a reason to get out. We're very close to the previous week's high. So I'll be using the whole standard deviation since this the we are getting trend from the open, which is basically a 10% chance on every single open to get a trend from the open. So I think this is one of those days. I hope so. That the first part remains the low of the day. But with the context, I don't know. We have a bad context. Bad context. We're testing the previous week's high. To use a single standard deviation or measure it from this point. So you're very, very close to the if you if I take a single standard deviation from this point high to the low, that is basically the previous week's high. Okay, on a 1 minute time frame, we are making bull bears are making an effort when below the but still that all of this range is contained within that range. So the bulls who are left are must be feeling FOMO. So if I'll assume it right now, if we start to move down again, the bulls who are buying it will get crushed. We have touched the previous week's high. Let's aim for 1:1. I know we have a big problem the previous week's high, so but still, I'm not willing to cut off the trade. I'll get out at exactly 1 to 1 risk to reward ratio. On a 15 minutes, we got a strong closing. We got a strong closing on a 5 minutes above the previous range. So that's a very good sign. That's a very good sign. The two standard deviation of this move just to set an expectation for the range. The least we can expect is this one. Least, uh, two standard deviation of this range takes us up to here, 22,927. Okay, we got our first closing below the prior bar low. This can turn into a reversal, so I'll be careful. We got our first closing below the prior bar low on a 1 minute. That does not really weight much, but still it can turn the whole thing upside down. So Do we have any news today? Nope. I don't see any. I don't see anything. We are above the moving average on a 1 minute. We are giving strong closing above the prior bar's high. So still bears do not have a reason to get in and bulls do not have a reason to get out of the trade if they are in the trade. So this is one of those 20% probability days that we get trend from the open and the people who are waiting to get in won't really get a chance. Single standard deviation 920. Let's pen down, pen up, pen down, pen up. It's a tight trading range. On a 5 minutes, we made a doji. The price may continue for a little bit, but it's gonna come back below this low. 4 minutes till the hourly is going to close, and the new hour will open. We have retested the previous week's high, and we are not really sure now what's gonna happen. Went down, went up. Two pushes down. This can be the third push. And within 3 minutes, the hourly will close. So this 5 minutes will not be a strong close. Odds are this 5 minutes. If this 5 minutes close below this, then I'm getting out of this trade. But also keep this in mind. Push one, two, three, three pushes down. We have filled this imbalance that was on 15 minutes. We have not. We have not. Yeah. Odds are we will. Because this 15 minutes was not very strong as I thought it would be. That's the first bar was good enough. This bar, not so good. It's not even half of this bar range. This bar was 42 points. Okay. And 42 points. You got the 50% off first bar. Two dojis. That's not good. Not good. Nice. Here we go. The new hour volatility showed up. We're aiming for 920 and 20 for 920. There are too many dojis around here. Not very comfortable trading around dojis. Yes, it's still bullish. It's very bullish, but still I want one to one and I want to get out. I don't want to risk anything. We have a lot of imbalanced candles. This hourly candle is imbalanced. The previous 15 minutes candle is imbalanced, right? The previous 15 minutes candle was imbalanced. So the 9:30 opening was imbalanced. 9:45 was imbalanced. 7 o'clock is imbalanced. What is going on? So that's the reason I am just not aiming for much, aiming for one to one risk to reward ratio. I have taken out my partials five, one, see it on a 15 minutes. See, this hourly is imbalanced, right? 15 minutes, and 50, I know this can be an indication that we are very strong, but it pulls back more often than not. Yeah, boy, how close are we? 3 points away from the target. Come on. Doji within a doji within a doji. All right, I'm getting out. Getting out. So because I cannot risk 2 or 3 points for the whole trade. So I already had taken out the partials. I have curtain out now. So I'm gonna review the day. I have taken out the trade. I am done. I'm not gonna trade every single day. I'm gonna just take this trade. But the only thing I'm going to tweak is gonna be the lot sizing. Is going to be the lot size. It totally depends on the setup and the probability that what lot size I'm going to put in this setup, which I'm going to trade every single day at the open. And that's it. Like a single trade a day. If this setup works out, a single setup trades maybe two or three. Depends on how the market is performing. So let's go to it, blur the background. Right. See, that was a nice exit. I would have got chopped out for 5 or 3 points. You read. Yeah, good man. And we are coming back to the low of the hour. Now, the people who are waiting to buy this, when they'll buy this, they'll get, you know what, probably there is a very high probability that they'll get crushed or it can trend for the whole day. We are just keep in mind that we are below the previous week's high, and yesterday was an inside day. One day, so what is left? What? Uh, अच्छा भाई तो हमारे पास okay, we can achieve the full standard deviation of this range, but my risk to reward is done. I was aiming for the half of the previous 15 minutes, which I have gotten. So I'm not gonna trade now. I'm just gonna go. But keep in mind that we had an inside day. Now we are above that inside day and we are trending upwards strong. So if we starts to move below this point, the previous day low, we can just take out the low of the prior day. Okay.